Another book review. Yeah, a lot of book reviews today. I think this might be my fifth or sixth that I've done since maybe 6 o'clock this morning. So I've been doing this for like 5 hours. This one here is for Silent Little Angels by Jennifer Chase. It is the seventh book in the Detective Katie Scott series, which is a Booker Joe publication. I have read all of the previous books. They are Little Girl Sleeping, Her Last Whisper, Flowers on Her Grave, Last Girls Alive, The Fragile Ones, Pretty Broken Dolls, and now this one, Silent Little Angels. I will see if I can incorporate those book covers in editing process. I'm not sure that I will or not, but those are the previous books. Like I said, I've read them all. Now, we have Detective Katie Scott and her partner McGavin, and they're not a couple. McGavin, I believe, is engaged, and Katie has a very steady boyfriend, but they're a good team of detectives. In this particular installment in this series, Katie gets called to Eagle Ridge Summer Camp when a camp counselor, Carolyn Sable, has been found dead in the lake. Now, this is a real challenge for Katie. The reason it's a challenge is because, first of all, Katie went to that camp as a child. She spent many summers there. It had nothing but good memories until her best friend Jenny disappeared. And that's when her joy and excitement about the camp died, because she never got over the loss of Jenny. Now we find out that not only did Carolyn, who, as mentioned, was the camp counselor, was found dead, but as they start to investigate the campsite, tragically, they discover that there are two more bodies right there. So that means, I think, according to this show, Criminal Minds, I think 3 murders makes a serial killer. 3 makes it a serial killer case. And that's what happens here. Now, not only has this case turned into much more than Katie could have envisioned, the memories of her time at the camp, her memories of Carolyn when Carolyn was her camp counselor, her memories of Jenny and never knowing what happened to Jenny. But there's something more. Where the other 2 bodies were found, something was found with those bodies. With those bodies was clippings from Katie's past cases. It was planted near one of those bodies. So Katie has to wonder, does this go back to my childhood? Does this mean that I am a potential victim for this serial killer? And what kind of danger will Katie find herself in? Those are the things that come to mind. Now, this is a very, very good series. It's a very compelling series. And like I said, you have Katie and you have McGavin, and I have read all the books. So I have the continuity. I understand them as characters, as protagonists, because it doesn't matter how many books I read, you just develop an attachment to characters in the books that you read on a regular basis. And so when you go back into this series, if you have read all or any of the previous books, then you might feel that sense of connection or connectivity to Katie and to McGavin and to the team. But don't worry if you haven't, because I love the way Booker Joe authors write their books. You can read this as a standalone, but I wouldn't. That's just me. I'm a series fanatic. You hear that out of my mouth a lot. I am very, very, very much into series. So I try to read, follow the narrative from the beginning. You want to get to understand the motivations of the characters, like what drives them, what connections they have. Do they work well together? How do they work well together? What is their past? Like, for example, Katie was raised by her uncle, and he's the sheriff. So what is her relationship to her uncle? Did she come into her job based on her skill, or did she come into the job for nepotism's sake? Those are things that you'll absorb as you read through the series. But like I said, don't worry about it. If you haven't read any of the other books, what you're going to find is the current case. The murder of the camp counselor, the additional bodies found, and then Katie's case notes being found near one of the bodies. So that's the gist of this, and you'll be able to jump right into it if you need to. Now, I love the pacing that Jennifer Chase, how she paces her books. She not only gets you off the ground running with the case at hand, but she does a lot that brings you into Katie's mind. And while she does that, the element of danger ratchets higher and higher and higher. So while that level of danger is rising, and while you're in Katie's head while she's solving this crime, you can't help but flip the pages or tap your Kindle. In my case, tapping the Kindle, because I want to know what's going to happen next. And I also want to know, you know that in most of these cases, detectives, or whether they're amateur detectives or police detectives or constables, they're going to find themselves in danger. That's kind of a given with these books. So what kind of danger does Katie find herself in? And how is she able to pull herself out of danger? And that's pretty much it. I will say that there's one thing. Now, I'm going to give this book 4 stars. Generally, I would go like about 5 stars with Jennifer Chase's books, because there's a little bit of the supernatural in this one. And that didn't, I don't know. It's not something that I usually read. So other than, seeing how that affected Katie in her solving this crime, that's the only negative, but it is not going to stop me from reading book number 8 and 9 and 10 and however many books Jennifer Chase puts out in this series. I will get them and I will read them. So that's it, and I just want to tell you about that, and I will let you know that it's at the Kindle. It's a Kindle, it's a print-on-demand book, but you can get it by Kindle. And it's also an audiobook. I wasn't aware of that. But not only that, it's also on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, then you're not paying anything for the book. That's good to know. And I am going to just click a previous novel to see if some of her other novels are Kindle Unlimited. And it looks like they are. Yes. So grab them all, Kindle Unlimited. Use your 10 credits or whatever they give you for Kindle Unlimited and get all these books and read them. All right, that's it. Bye-bye.